Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on the gorgeous Granny Square Skirt. Yay! Now we've been talking about this on the channel, that is with my regulars, so if you are joining us new, firstly welcome. We've been talking about this on the channel as a new Granny Square Skirt. Very, very exciting. Now in your country, if it is winter, make yours in a wool or a warmer thread. Okay, if it is summer, make yours exactly like ours. It doesn't matter. This is an all-round kind of skirt, so you can do it in any color and any combination that you like. Okay, however, when it comes to measurements, we'll talk about that in a minute, but when it comes to measurements, you kind of really need to work on a measurement that suits you. And my regulars will know what I do with measurements is I get your widest measurement, whether that's your hips, your tummy, whatever your widest measurement is, that is what we are working on today. All right, so let's firstly talk about the yarn I'm going to use. It is an 8-ply number 3 or a DK weight, and I'm using 2 different brands. However, they are both 8-ply. So we've got our little 8-ply written there and we've got our little 8-ply written there. So no matter what combination of yarn that you have, as long as you are using the same ply, same thickness, it should work gorgeously. Now, the only thing I have noticed is I started using hobby yarn. Now this cotton here is really dense. It's an 8-ply, but it's a dense 8-ply. It's super thick and very kind of taut, if you will, really tough. Whereas this yarn is a little bit softer. So that actually makes a difference to your square. Because if I was to make this square in the amount that I needed, I would need to make an extra square, but I'm not going to, because check this out. Look at that stretch. I guarantee you, once I wear it, it's going to stretch. It's going to be extra big. So I'm doing it 1 square less for my measurements, all right? So it's going to be a little tight for me, and it'll still sit loosely. Hard to imagine, but that's what happens when you're using a soft cotton, okay? But if you are using a dense, a really super thick cotton, make it to suit your measurements, because that is when things go wrong, okay? So these are both cottons, but they're 2 different types, whereas these 2 are really quite soft, so we can use them as one. I'm not sure if this is making any sense. If you have the same brand cotton, even better, because you know whether it's a soft cotton or a more dense cotton, so you'll know whether to make it soft, makes it loose, and more dense cotton makes it tighter, so you know how to focus on your measurements. Now let's get started on measurements, but before we do, I just wanted to let everyone know it calls for a 4mm hook, and I will be using a 4mm hook, Laxo, and I'll be using a normal darning needle, weaving needle. You will need that, sorry guys, you'll need that. I'll be using this. It's a pair of scissors that was gifted to me by one of our subscribers, the lovely Karen Beaton. And I thank you so much, Karen. We're going to be using these scissors on our channel from now on. She gifted me this one and also the smaller size. Without dropping the frame there, that one there. How gorgeous are they? Very sharp, by the way, guys. I nearly lost a finger. So very sharp, but how gorgeous are these? Your fingers can fit in them. How gorgeous is that? And the same with that one. Look at that. I love, love, love. So we will be using either one of these from now on our channel, thanks to the lovely Karen Beaton. All right, and now let's get back to it. Sorry, guys, I just got a little bit distracted there. I do apologise. You will also need a stitch marker, okay? And you will need your measuring tape, okay? And you will need a book, because you're going to need to do your measurements. Before we go on with that first, I just wanted to show you just quickly a join that we're going to do for our squares will be this join right here. Now this join here, by the way, this piece here, we used this piece for the Rusterman Vibrations poncho that you see right there. How gorgeous is that poncho, right? And the top part there that you see, are these squares right here, and it's exactly the same piece. All right, so this is what it looks like when it's joined. So your skirt will be joined like that, which will also give it more of a stretched look as well. So just keep that in mind when you are creating your skirt. Now I've got a lot of written numbers here and I don't want to scare you, but I do want to show you the numbers, okay? Really important. Now let's grab this square back again. Okay, really important, the numbers, really, I can't even get this up high enough, can I? Here we go. All right, so each square for me was 10 centimeters, roughly 10 centimeters, or just on 4 inches. All right, 10 centimeters that way and 10 centimeters that way. So I put down that each square will be 10 centimeters. Because I need 100 centimeters in width, my whole width, I'm going to do 50 centimeters for the front and 50 centimeters for the back. All right, so I need 5 squares because that's 10. All right, so let's grab this. So 1, 2, 3, let's get the ones that I haven't finished. 4 and 5. Oh, let's bring that out. So that will be my front. Okay, we still need another row there, right? So that will be my front. 5 across there, and at the back there will be 5 across as well. But when we join them, we're going to be joining them as one piece, not as 2 separate sides, okay? Just bear that in mind. It'll be joined as 10 squares all in a row. And then we'll turn and add the other 10 squares along this way, okay? So there's my front, yes. So that's my front, just one row of my front, okay? All right, so 5 across, and I want 40 centimeters in length down. We're going to add a little bit of extra length because we're going to put another row of cream plus a border row, a very small border row, plus we are going to add a little bit more up the top for our waistband of just some double crochets with maybe some holes or gaps so that we can weave in a little strap kind of thing so that we can have some tie up in front if it's too loose for you. If you don't want that little strap in front, I will show you how to decrease your stitches to tighten them up. That's more of a more avid crocheter, more professional crocheter. So if you are new, I would stick to using the straps for this one. However, you can, like I say in all my tutorials, take a risk. Really important to take the risk with your crochet. All right, so that's this is what the skirt. Okay, it's not a very good picture. I'm no artist, I do apologize, but that's what the skirt will look like in the front and the back. Right, let's just say that's the front for now, okay? You're going to have these will all be joined together, and then you will have a border row. Oh, don't tell me this does not. Hello. Don't you hate it when it doesn't work when you need it? You'll have a border row of that down the bottom of probably 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters, give or take maybe half an inch to an inch, all right? If you find that's too short, easy fix. We're going to be doing the waistband last, okay? So this will be the waistband. We're going to go up by, again, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, whatever. But if you find it short, go up a few more centimeters. This is how you change the length of your skirt. Now, as we are crocheting around up the top, this will close up a little bit into your waist, not a lot. It's more likely that our waist is thinner than our hips, more likely. Having said that, I have a big tummy. I mean, don't tell anyone. So it does tend to tighten up around here, but that's okay because you don't want your skirt to fall down. So you want it fairly tight up here, okay? Let's not worry about that part for now. What we are worried about is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, hello. I'm already messed up. We want 5 across. I'm such a duffer. You didn't see that. Shh, don't tell them. They didn't see it. Let's just pretend it's there. I apologise, guys. Oh, there's always one. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares across and 1, 2, 3, 4 squares down. Filling them all up, you've got 20 squares in the front and 20 squares at the back. Well, it's a really bad arrow looking thing. So altogether you have 40 squares. Now that is for a measurement of 100 centimeters. Now if you are smaller than 100 centimeters and you are using the same kind of thread that's very soft, I would omit a row of squares because soft yarn is very stretchy. All right, I'm sorry that this part's taking long, but I want you to get your measurements right, okay? So omit that. Now, if you are bigger than 100 centimeters, this can still work. If you are more than 105 centimeters, 110 centimeters, this may come across a little bit tight, but can still work. If you are way into 120 or 130 centimeters, then you need to add an extra row, okay? And the reason I'm telling you this is because I've already totaled everything up for you. Let's get a close up, a bit more, that's it. All right, so I'm sorry, if you get too close, it shakes. I've used 1 gram of the orange, 1 to 2 grams of the blue, 2 grams of the yellow, 2 to 3 grams of the green, and 3 grams of your cream. Okay, so in total, I will need 40 grams of orange, between 40 and 60 grams of the blue, 80 grams of the yellow, between 80 and 100 grams of the green, and 120 grams of your cream. However, I would like to use 200 because like I said before, we're going to give it a little bit of extra down here and a lot of bit of extra up there. Does that make any sense? A bit more up there. You like that one? A lot of it. And a bit more up the top. All right. Bit of scribble there. I do apologize. But look, all you need to worry about is making sure you have enough yarn. Grabbing these totals, except for that one there, I would use the 200 grams. Grabbing these totals roughly. Now, if you are a small or an extra small and you're taking off one row, oh dear, and you're taking off one row, you don't need as much, all right? Calculate your yarn. And the way I calculated it, and I'm not kidding, is I weighed each piece after I did a row. Seriously, I got the kitchen scales out and I weighed the first bit and it was 1 gram. And then I did the second row. I left the threads on it, okay? Because those extra threads, if you cut them, that's going to be, by the time you're finished, that's going to be like 1 gram or 2 grams off and you're going to be out, okay? So leave everything on the way it is the first time. Do your first little row, weigh it on your scales. Do your second row, weigh it again. Do your third row, weigh it again. And do your fourth row, weigh it again, okay? At the end of this tutorial, you will have that piece right there. You won't have this one, okay? Don't worry about the final cream row. We're going to do that one together when we work on our join as you go. All right, using that method I showed you before. In the meantime, I'm so sorry this took so long, but I did want to make sure I was thorough with the measurements for you. So in reference to my measurements, I'm working on 40 squares, okay? So today, let's go on and do this square right here. Good luck, guys. Alrighty guys, I'm going to show you 2 ways of starting your circle. Just going to show you an easy way for anyone who is joining us new. If you want to try the other way, just wait a moment and we'll try the other way. But if you are really new to crochet and you're struggling with the way we're going to do it, I'll just show you a real quick way. And that's just making a quick slip knot, yarn over your finger once and twice, holding it there, holding it down there, grabbing your back loop, passing it halfway over, hold it there, grab the other loop, passing it all the way over, pop your hook in and give your work a tug. All right, you need to chain up 3. This is for the newbies only. And a chain is a yarn over your hook, pull a loop through once, yarn over twice, yarn over 3 times. All right, and now you want to do what we call a slip stitch. Pop your hook in that first stitch that you just made, pull the loop through, just giving everything a really big tug, and you can see right in there, I'll see if I can get that down, there it is, right in there there's a space. That's the space you're going to be working in a moment. So just pull that loop through, chain 1, 2 and 3. Now we're going to do a double crochet, yarn over your hook, pop it in that space that I said before to make sure you've got a gap there, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. I'm going to leave it there and you can join us there in a moment, but for the rest of us, we're going to try the magic ring or the magic circle or the magic loop. Newbies, if you want to try this as well, why not, I say. Grab your tail end, holding it in the front of your hand. Just give yourself 2-3 fingers, whatever suits you. Grabbing your working end, wrapping it around your fingers like so, forming a little, I don't know, X if you will, yeah? Now you grab your hook, you pop it under the first thread, pull that back thread through and up. What you have is that, and these, okay? You need to grab hold right in the middle there of those like that, dropping the rest, okay? But you need to hold that all the time. So when you change hands, hold it, okay? Now you're just chaining like we did before with the newbies. And let's get a close up for you. You just chain 1, yarn over your hook once and twice and 3 times, okay? Just give that little thread a little bit of a tug and it closes your circle up a little bit, not much, just a little bit, because we have to fill up that circle. I'll do a little bit more. So maybe the size of your fingers, yeah, maybe. All right, so yarn over our hook. We're going to do a double crochet. Pop our hook in that center, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now newbies, when I left you before, this is where I left you. This is what I want everyone to do now. Newbies and regulars, just grabbing a stitch marker. In that first double crochet you did, that is where the 2 loops are for the stitch. I need you to pass over to the next 2 loops that were in that top 3rd chain that you did. All right, when we did our chain 3 before. So pop your stitch marker in there. This is very important for newbies because you need to know where to slip stitch at the end of the row. Okay, so that's that. Easy. Then what you're going to do now is do another double crochet. Yarn over your hook in the space, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. What you have formed is, with these chains here, is actually classified as a double crochet in this round. You've formed 3 double crochets. Now we want to make a first corner, and that's chain 1 and 2. And we're going to pop another 3 double crochets in that center. I might close it up a little tiny bit, still leaving a good size for me to work in. So yarn over your hook in the space, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. I'm sorry, by the way, newbies, you don't pull on your thread. This is just for those of you who did the magic ring, okay? So now we're going to do another double crochet in, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 2. And again for your 3rd double crochet. Yes? Now we're going to do a corner. Chain 1 and 2, back into your center with your 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Yes? All right, now you need yet again another corner. Chain 1 and 2, back into your center with 3 double crochets. Now this is our last 3 double crochets. This is for everybody, newbies and regulars. Your last 3 double crochets. However, you still need to form another corner, chain 1 and 2, and what you have is 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3, 3, and then you've got your chain 2s in between. Yes, so corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, this will be corner 4. We now have to close up our work. Newbies, you don't need to do this, but for everyone else who did a magic circle or a magic ring, this is where the magic comes in. You grab your tail, you give it a really big tug, and it closes up that center right there. Really nice closed center. All right, so now what we're going to do, this is for everyone now. Everyone, we all need to slip stitch into that stitch marker. So we need to grab our hook, no loops over or anything, just grab your hook, pop it in that little stitch where your stitch marker is. You can take that stitch marker out now if it's awkward. Then you just pull a loop through, like so, and pull it through to the loop on your hook, and there you go. You have formed your square, okay? But what we're going to do is pull up a loop, like so, because we are going to change colours. Grab our gorgeous scissors, and off we go with changing colours. Give your thread a tug. Simply divine. How gorgeous is that? Yes. Now we are going to work on colour number 2, which is the blue. All right, so now for those of you who are joining us new, you're not aware of this, but yours truly, when doing granny squares where I'm changing colours, I don't like to start in the same corner that I finished with. Not necessary. If you want to start there, by all means, that's fine. But I'm just going to find another corner. I'm just going to go right to the opposite. Why not? So we're going to grab our loop, and all you're doing is popping a loop over your hook, pulling it through, and you've got a tail end and a working end. Just grab your tail end, passing it forward for a minute, because we're going to crochet over that. We're still going to weave these in too, by the way, guys. So chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. It's a little bit easier here to pop your stitch marker in these chains. All right, so pop your stitch marker there, and you need to do 2 double crochets in that corner. So 1 and 2. All right, in that same corner, you need to continue making a corner, so you need to chain 2, 1 and 2. Then you need to put 3 more double crochets in that corner, and notice how I'm crocheting over the tail. So off you go, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And I like to call this a double cluster set. So when I pop the written pattern, the free written pattern for this square up on my website, you will know this will be called a double cluster set. By the way, our website is www.wowcrochetdesigns.com. The free pattern will be there of the square in the next week or so, but the written pattern for the skirt will actually be a paid pattern. From here, we're just going to grab our blue thread there and pass it at the back. We are going to skip these 3 double crochets, pop into that corner with 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So with a double cluster set in the corner, off you go. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and then another 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, this is an area where I have a thread. If you've already crocheted near your thread, it doesn't matter. But yours truly likes to grab a hold of that thread at the back, like so. And when we skip over these 3 double crochets and jump into that corner, I start crocheting over that tail. Again, not necessary because we will still weave it in as well. So yarn over your hook in the space, pull a loop through. You can drop that thread now if you like, and just continue your double crochet. And there's your second and your third, and then 1 and 2 to form your corner, and then you're putting your 3 double crochets in that space, and you now can't see your knot. It's being covered by the double crochets. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty coolio. Now we're going to jump into that corner, so we're skipping our 3 double crochets again, jump into the corner, and off you go with your double cluster set. Let's use the jargon, okay? Because that's the jargon you will see on the website. When I pop my free pattern on, chain 2, whoops, and 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. All right, so here is where we are at the end of our square. Now, we're not doing any chains or anything because we're actually in the center of one of our sides. See the sides? We're in the center, so if we chained one, there'll be like a big space there. We don't want that. All we're going to do is slip stitch right in the same stitch with your stitch marker in it. So just pop your hook in there. Hopefully yours is loose. This is not too bad. Usually mine are really tight. I can't get the hook in. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through, and pull it through to the loop on your hook. Once again, you are pulling up a loop. Why? Because we're going to cut our work yet again. All right? 2, gorgeous. How cute is that? So cute. All right, let's get, how silly am I? Let's get our next colour, which is the yellow. All right, so here is the yellow. Now, once again, it's up to you. You don't have to. I'm going to find a place where there's no thread. Eventually, after the 4th row, there will be a thread, okay? So I'm just going to pop my hook there, grab my yellow, like so, and just pull that loop in, grabbing your little tail end, passing it forward so that we can crochet over that a bit. And all that does is it locks it into place, yeah? So you're chaining 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you like, which I will do, just give that first one a bit of a tug. And then, again, don't forget your stitch marker. Now, if you are a more avid crocheter or a professional crocheter and you don't use them, that's fine. You don't need to. This is just to help the newbies find the stitch at the end of the row. Yarn over your hook. You are going to crochet over your tail again and do 2 double crochets in that corner. 1 and 2. And again, you're going to continue to make a corner. Chain 1 and 2, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. All right. So from here, we've got this tail end, which we're going to work over, but don't worry about that for now. What we need to focus on in this round is that we now have sides that we've got to work into. And in those sides, you are doing 3 double crochets or 1 cluster set. So that tail, if you don't want to hold it in your finger, just pass it forward like that and crochet over it. Okay, so doing a double crochet in that space like so. 1 and then 2 and then 3. So in every side space you are putting 3 double crochets. So now we're going to pop into that corner. So we're going to skip over these 3 double crochets, jump into the corner with a double cluster set of 3 double crochets. 2, 3, chain 1 and 2 for the corner, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to bring that out a little bit now so you can see the square. And there's your middle, your center. You're going to jump over these 3 double crochets and pop 1 cluster set in the center, right there, of 3 double crochets. As you continue along your journey of crochet, you will hear the jargon of crochet. Now, it may not happen in all patterns, but in my written patterns, I will use the jargon, okay? So now we're going to skip over these 3 double crochets and we're going to do a double cluster set in that corner of 3 double crochets. I don't know where I'm going to go now because I've got a knot there. There we go, that worked. Oh dear. That's the 3rd double crochet. Chain 2 for the corner and 3 double crochets, and that is your double cluster set for the corner. Now here you have your center space. You need to put 1 cluster set in that center space. Let's just use the jargon now for the rest of this tutorial and hopefully you'll understand, yeah? Jump over those 3 double crochets and a double cluster set in the corner. All right. Jumping over that set and 1 cluster set in the side space, like so. All right. And we're done with that side, and we're done with the square for the yellow, but we still have to slip stitch to join. Don't chain anything because this is a center of one of your sides. So all you want to do is slip stitch right into that stitch marker stitch like so, popping the stitch marker out, or you can leave it in until you complete your stitch, whichever suits you. Pull the loop through and pull it through to the loop on your hook. Again, you are pulling up a loop. I did say there will be some ends, guys. It's part of it all, really. Cut your thread, moving your yellow and grabbing your next colour, which is the green. For this side here, I'm going to show you part of it, and then you're going to head off on your own and finish it. And then you're going to come back here and we'll talk, all right? So, again, I'm going to find a place where there are no threads, which, you know, is pretty difficult now, but I see one right there. No threads. Right there. All right, this is the 4th row, so we're going to run out of spots where there's no threads. So your next row, when it comes to the next row, which you don't have to worry about right now, you will need to put it anywhere you like. Grabbing your thread forward like so, chain 1, 2 and 3, then you need your stitch marker like so. And finish off this set here with 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. You still need to finish your corner, so chain 1 and 2 and do 3 double crochets in the same space. 1, 2 and 3. All right, so just pass your tail end at the back. All right, from here, this round here has 2 side spaces. So you need to put 1 cluster set in there, 1 cluster set in there, hop into your corner with a double cluster set, and then 1 in there, 1 in there, 2 in there, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, and then we join. All right, so let's start you off with this side. You're skipping these 3 double crochets, you are popping a cluster set in there. Your first space. Yes. Then you are skipping 3 double crochets, going into your second space with 1 cluster set. Oh, my thread's getting caught, sorry guys. Now you are skipping those 3 double crochets, doing a double cluster set. And you're doing your next set right in the same space. All right, I don't think I need to show you this round. I think you can do this round on your own, okay? Once again, you are holding that thread down when you get to that space, but don't worry about that yet. You do space 1, space 2, corner, space 1, space 2, corner, space 1, space 2. When you get to that last space, wait for me there and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the row. We're going to slip stitch like normal, okay? So pop your hook in your stitch marker, okay? Like so. Pulling your loop through. Pulling up a loop like we do in every round, yes? Grabbing your scissors, off you go. All right, now, before we do anything else, have a look at your square and make sure that everything is perfect, because this next part we're going to do is going to be difficult to come undone. Because I literally do a lot of splitting when I'm weaving in my ends, and what it does is it keeps those ends in nice and tight, which is why I split a lot. So what we're going to do, turn your work at the back. This is for everyone. Okay, we'll just do one of the difficult threads, which is this one here first. We're going to grab our sewing needle and thread it. Sewing, darning, weaving needle, whatever you want to call them. Thread it, yes. And just that one there. the smaller one. Now we've crocheted over it already, so that's once. If we popped our needle straight back through, we're going to unravel what we do. So just grab a little thread just there and split it gently. And then when you are passing your needle through that gap, split it as well. So you're splitting through the yellow and the blue. Just check the front, make sure you can't see your needle. Pop your thread through like so, and there you go. That is one. We've crocheted over it once, we've weaved it in a second time, we're going to weave it in a third time because yours truly is a very big stickler. Once again, I'm splitting a tiny, very, very minimal of the thread, but I'm splitting more inside, which is what we want. Can't see the needle? Nope. So pop it through. If you can see the needle, take it out and do it again. All right, so just pop it through. If you are more pedantic than I am, you can do a fourth time, but I'm just thinking, you know, 3 is plenty. 3 is plenty. All right, so that's that. But the very, very important thread is that middle one. People think that once you crochet over it, you don't need to weave it in. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you that will come out in the wash. I personally don't wash in a washing machine, but a lot of people do. You toss yours in the washing machine and you do it 2 or 3 times, your end will eventually come out, okay? But for me, I'm very pedantic and I wash everything by hand when it comes to crochet. That's not necessary either. It's just personal choice. All right, you may have found that your gap has opened up a little. Just give the thread a gentle tug and it closes up again. Now we're going to continue with our needle. You're here coming out of there. So we're going to continue in the round, just going through some threads again, just checking the front that you can't see the needle, and you can't. So pop your needle through like so and do it again right through to another section, checking the front, all good. Pop it through like so. Before you do any more, you're going to go back that way. It's going to make it a tiny little bit thicker, but it will stop that. Once again, you're splitting in a different area. It'll stop that from separating, okay, in the wash. You won't have a problem in the wash. Now, let's just check the front because that was super thick and I was worried. No, we're all good. All right. And just one more time, because yours truly, you know, very much a stickler, very much. Let's go through it and make sure, this way you can see what I mean by the needle going through. Check that out. You don't want that, okay? So don't do that because it will be very noticeable that your thread will be threaded. Like, it'll be very noticeable. Your thread will be across. You don't want that. How gorgeous is that? There you go. Now, I think we're done. I think we're done on that thread. I'm going to use the smaller scissors for this one. I'm curious to see what the difference is. Not much. They're the same. That's good. All right. So that's what we have right there. Now your job is to weave in all these ends. You can leave your green one if you like, because we're going to crochet over that one. So leave that one, but weave in all your other little ends here. Yes. And do your, I don't know how many squares you're doing, but I'm saying roughly 40 for everyone. Okay. Do your 40 squares. Weave in all the ends. You can leave that last one if you like. Weave in all your ends and then meet me back here in a week or 2 weeks time and we will join our squares and finish off the skirt. But this is part 1 of your Granny Square Skirt and I'm loving these colours. For us in Melbourne, it is actually a spring summer time, so these colours are gorgeous for spring summer. Again, if you are overseas and your country is heading into autumn and winter, change the colour combination. Use a wool, use an acrylic, use whatever you like. Doesn't have to be cotton, okay? Just be wary if you're using a wool or an acrylic, it might be even more stretchier. So just be careful of your measurements. But that's about it, guys. Let's pop this one right here. Okay, what you need to do right now is do 39 of what we just did. 39 squares of that. You don't have to worry about that last row. Don't do it. Just do 39 squares, exactly what we just did right now. All right. How gorgeous is that? Oh, love, love, love. Now I've weaved in the last thread just for these two so that I can get some photos done, but you don't need to weave in that last green end. We will be weaving it in once we crochet over it. Again, if you want to weave it in, by all means weave that in. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget, we actually have our lives here on the channel at 4 p.m. on Wednesday afternoons and 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings, Melbourne, Australia time. And usually our subscribers have a choice of the colour combination of some of our projects. This particular colour combination I chose myself because I want to wear this skirt. So I thought, I want to be fussy with my colours. Alright, so that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to show you today. Head off on your own, do your 39 squares, meet me back here in a week and a half or so time, and we will put them all together. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and do all those wonderful things that you usually do anyways. And all I want to say right now is ciao for now.